Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Gabi, and right behind me are two 2025 Kia Sorento Plug-in Hybrids. They're the two trim levels that are available here in Canada, and there is a $10,000 price difference between the two. And let me tell you, from the outside, it may not look like much is different, but in today's video, we're doing a full comparison. So we're gonna see the differences between the EX model that we have here in black today and the SX model showcased in Cityscape Green. Now this is a live streamed review, so we're doing this in real time with no script, but there's a reason for it. The reason is, if I mess up, you guys get to see it, maybe you get to laugh. But we also get to get your comments in real time, so if there's any questions you may have, whether you're shopping for this vehicle or just curious, let us know in the live chat and I can answer it on the spot in real time. Now without further ado, let's get right into it, and we'll start off with the price point. Now the entry model, the EX that we have here today, is $50,645 Canadian. And then the SX model that I have here in green is $60,265, so slightly under $10,000. But you guys get the point. There's a pretty big price difference between the two. Now Adam, our cameraman, is going to grab the camera and we'll get started with the exterior, starting off on the EX model. Now, for simplicity's sake, I'm only going to pop the hood and talk about the engine on one of these cars because, of course, the power plant is the exact same. Mechanically, this is the same vehicle. It's identical. So there's going to be no performance difference between the two. Now, when we're talking a plug-in hybrid vehicle, I like to say it's a mixed match of an EV and a gas car. In that sense, we have a 1.6-liter turbocharged GDI, which stands for gasoline direct injection 4-cylinder engine. So here's our engine right over here. It's a smaller engine, it's extremely efficient, and it packs a good punch power-wise. But what we get to make this vehicle different and add to the plug-in hybrid standpoint is a battery-powered electric motor. So the battery in this particular vehicle is larger than what you'd see on a typical hybrid, and that's because we have the capacity to store energy from plugging this vehicle into a wall, like this level 2 charger we have over here, and by regenerative braking. So if you choose to install a level 2 charger at home, you can expect a full charge in about 3.5 hours, or it can take a bit longer if you use the charger that's provided with the vehicle. It's typically done overnight, just like how you plug in your phone. You wake up, it's fully charged, ready to roll the next day. You get about 48 kilometers of all-electric range for both of these vehicles, and that range is fantastic for your daily drive. So whether it's running errands or doing your commute, if it's under the 48 kilometers, all of that's done in pure electric driving range, so not a drop of gas. But where a plug-in hybrid really hits home and why it's so popular is the fact that after that range is depleted, you still have a hybrid vehicle. So it's still fuel efficient and it runs on gas. You'll never be left stranded unless you decide not to put gas in it or charge it. In that case, I really can't help you. Now with both of these forces, the electric motor and the gasoline engine, we have 261 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque for the Sorento. You'll also get a 6-speed automatic transmission, smooth shifting, and all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive is standard here in Canada. So that's enough about the power plant. Let's talk exterior styling differences and just get you comfortable with the overall profile of the vehicle. So we'll close the hood. It's nice to note that it is a hydraulic hood, so no prop arm. For the front end, you'll notice that we have a black grille. Now on the EX model, it's going to be a matte black finish with a, I don't want to say chrome because it's proper chrome on the SX, but a light metal finish surrounding the grille. Your bumper is going to be black plastic, and we have forward-facing parking sensors with LED fog lamps mounted below and a horizontal slatted grille. Right in the very center, we have our radar plate that's utilized for your smart cruise control. Smart cruise control is standard on the Kia Sorento. That allows you to set your speed and your following distance, and the vehicle will go to a full and complete stop if you hit stop and go traffic. Now this bottom accent here is also finished in that same metal material. It's plastic, of course, but a metal painted look. Not a chrome. That's important because we do get that chrome finish on the SX model. I'll show you guys in just a few seconds. Now up at the top, we'll quickly talk about the windshield. Now not just the glass itself, but there is something special about it. It's an acoustic glass. So what that means is there's enhanced sound deadening into the window itself. So that's just going to give you an overall quieter cabin experience. In the very center though, we have a forward-facing camera. And that camera will be utilized for the forward collision avoidance that's standard on this vehicle, as well as the lane keeping and lane following assist systems. Again, all of that, great safety functions, all of those great safety functions are standard on this car. Your headlamps are also full LEDs. You'll notice we have an orange or amber daytime running light. And then for the main headlamp itself, they are projection style, and we also have LED positioning lights. So everything visibility-wise is fantastic regardless of the trim level you get. Your mirrors will not be power folding on the EX model, but we do have a turn signal indicator and blind spot detection built into the mirror itself. The exterior styling is again in that satin chrome look, so we have a fender flare just below our mirror with a little bit of a matte finish and a little bit of a shiny finish, or more so satin. The belt line of the vehicle, again in that same lighter brushed metal finish, really looks great on black paint, and then your pillars are gloss black. You do get proximity entry standard, so as long as the key's on you, you'll simply press the button on the driver or passenger front doors to unlock the vehicle or lock it once you're done. I already mentioned all-wheel drive is standard, but as I talk about the wheels, we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. We have 19-inch alloys, and this alloy design is the same whether you get the EX or the SX, so there's no wheel difference or no wheel upgrade, same design. 19-inch in diameter, of course, and then our all-wheel drive system does have a front-wheel drive bias. So if it's a regular sunny day, your vehicle won't be utilizing full-time all-wheel drive, which is good for the fuel efficiency. However, if you do turn on a road with uneven terrain, the vehicle will automatically redistribute torque automatically. So it's a smart system. However, you do get the option to put it in snow mode, mud mode, or sand mode. Sand and mud mode will be a full 50-50 split or a symmetrical all-wheel drive, and that will give you the overall best traction for whatever kind of conditions you're in. Your rear suspension is a multi-link rear suspension, and we got ventilated disc brakes up at the front with solid disc brakes in the rear. Alrighty. Now, on the passenger side is where you'll find your charge door. With our plug-in hybrids, it's AC charging only, so level 1 or level 2. Most people will call it that instead. Pretty much level 2 is a 270 volts. You can find like a dryer plug type charging. A lot of people will install those in their garage. You can also find them at a lot of malls, shopping centers, or even rest stops. That is what will take 3.5 hours to charge your vehicle. If you choose the level 1 charger that comes with the car, it doesn't require any special wiring. So it'll plug into a 3-prong household outlet, just like what we have over there. And it takes pretty well overnight, about 10 to 11 hours. So yeah, it's not fast charging, but if you plug in your vehicle after work or after you do your errands for the day, you wake up the next day, it's fully charged and ready to roll again without any gas. The fuel tank is a 47-liter tank, and it doesn't require any special fuel, so regular unleaded's fine. That is a smaller tank than the regular gas Sorento, so this vehicle can go further with less fuel. Matter of fact, if you don't use your gas that often or at all, you can do all of your everyday driving in electric range and really prolong the amount of time you spend between the gas station. I just want to quickly point out the taillights. Now on the EX model, they are just regular tail lamps. We get, your typical bulbs. They will be LEDs on the SX, and we'll do a quick exterior run of the SX before we hop on the inside, and that's where the major changes are. Now before we do that, I just want to show you the liftgate on this vehicle. You do get a power liftgate standard on the EX. It is height adjustable and it's proximity style, so I went ahead and pressed the button to power open it, but you can also simply walk up to the rear. As long as the function's on, it'll automatically open. Both of these cars will also have the same seating layout, so there's 6 passenger vehicles, 2 up at the front, 2 captain's chairs in the middle, and then 2 wide seats in the rear. They'll also both, let me lift this, have a proper spare tire. So the tire itself is located underneath the vehicle, but you have your jack mounted just below the floorboard. This is the level 1 charger I was mentioning earlier that comes with the vehicle. It's perfect because it is portable. You can take it around on your road trips with you. That way, if you go away somewhere for a long weekend, sure, maybe they won't have a level 1 charger, but there's a good chance you'll end up somewhere that has a regular household outlet. Am I right? All right, now let's take a look at the exterior of the SX model, and keep in mind the differences on the exterior styling are very small, so you're gonna have to keep a sharp eye. Doesn't help that our lights just turned off, so let me walk over and trigger them back on. There we go. All right, so first things first is the grille. So we have some slightly different materials. Number 1, the grille insert is gloss black instead of matte. We have a camera mounted in the very center. That's one of the 4 exterior cameras that piece together the full 360 camera view, which I will show you inside the cabin. The surround of the grille, or the housing, is more so a chrome finish. So this is more mirrored than what we see on the EX model. just a bit more of a premium look because this is a more premium trim. You get same body color along the front, however your bumpers are going to be gloss black instead of the matte black plastic. You got more forward-facing parking sensors, so that's the same. However, they are going to expand towards the sides as well too, because this vehicle has an advanced version of our typical smart cruise control. Now we have highway drive assist level 2. So this vehicle can not only set its speed and make sure you slow down or stop if you hit stop and go traffic, it'll also do automated lane changes. All you have to do is signal which way you want to change lanes, keep your hands on the wheel, and the car will do it for you. A few more small changes. We have this lower piece, I like to call it our lower lip, in that same chrome material. And again, just a little bit more of a premium exterior touch. All right, now let's talk wiper blades and mirrors. So your wiper blades are rain sensing, so as soon as it starts raining, as long as it's on the auto segment, it'll automatically set the speed based off the amount of precipitation. Your mirrors will be power folding. Two-tone, of course. They are two-tone on the regular Sorento or EX Sorento, but it's noticeable here because it's green, not black. And then we've got our camera located just below the mirror. That's going to show you a live camera view of whatever's in your blind spot. Now our door handles still have the proximity entry function, except instead of a button, it's going to be more so a sensor style. So you'll go to reach for the handle, and as long as the key's on you, the car will unlock or lock. This will also give you access to our digital key entry. That means you can unlock, start, and drive your vehicle from your phone as long as it's paired with the Kia Connect app. And you can also share access, so if you need to loan your vehicle out to a friend and you don't want to give them a physical key, you can send them access and then revoke it once they're done. Pretty handy, pretty techy. You can use it or not. Either way, you still have proximity entry. Now coming along to the sides, this material will be the same, so beautiful satin chrome. And then your pillars will also be the exact same material. There's no difference in badging between the two vehicles, so there's no SX badge or prestige badge, anything like that. They'll both have Sorento on the bottom left, and then on the right-hand side, it'll say PHEV. Of course, your Kia logo will be right smack dab in the center, and we have our rear view camera for both just below. There is one more camera on the SX though, and that is located right up here. This camera will give you a digital rear view mirror. So you have the option to have it in typical mirror mode or digital camera mode. I'll show you guys both, of course. First, let's hop into the interior of the EX model. So far, we've only gone over the exterior differences. I have no idea where we're at for time, but I want to keep things running a little bit quicker. Of course, let me know if you have any questions though, because I want to answer what you guys would like to know. So Adam will give a quick pan of the interior of the EX model. You'll notice it's a fairly dark interior. Now we only get the option for this black leatherette finish here in Canada. It's a beautiful finish, so the leatherette feels soft, it's supple, and it is luxurious, but it's definitely going to be a little bit darker, and you'll see what I mean when we hop over to the SX. Your driver's seat is powered, so you got your controls for the height of the seat, the backrest, and two-way lumbar support. Both seats up at the front will also be heated. You get 3 different levels of heat to choose from. And you also have a heated and leather-wrapped steering wheel. Your paddle shifters will be mounted just on the back, and that'll allow you to upshift or downshift your gears. However, if you're in eco mode, it'll also change the level of regen. So you can increase or decrease the regen on the fly. If you didn't know anything about regen, or if you don't know about regen, sorry, essentially regenerative braking is the kinetic energy that is retracted back into your battery. So what that means in simple terms is your electric motor is typically propelling your vehicle forward. So it's moving to move you. When you let off the accelerator or brake, that electric motor spins in reverse, and all of that energy, instead of going towards powering your vehicle or moving your vehicle, is stored in the battery for later use. So even if you're not plugging in your vehicle every day, if you do a lot of driving like downhill or a lot of braking, you're slowly building back some charge into that battery. It might not be a full charge, but it helps here and there. All right, now for the door, I'll just quickly go over some of the materials. This main pad here is a nice metal finish, almost a gunmetal gray color. Same thing for your door handle. You got your mirror controls up at the top, and then your door lock and unlock. You do have power, child, window, and door locks located right over here. And then as far as express windows go, we only have an express window for the driver's side. No memory seats on this trim level yet, and our audio system is the in-house 6-speaker system. Right over here, we have a quick button for our gas door, as well as your lift gate, so if you'd like to power open and close it. Gonna keep things relatively simple on the interior front and only really highlight the differences. Just quickly turn on the vehicle's power so we can take a look at the screen layout. So we have a 12.3-inch screen in the very center. This is your touchscreen display. It does have integrated driver profiles, so if you do share this vehicle with somebody else, you can separate things like your Bluetooth devices, your driving safety settings if you have differences on that. Same thing with your media for radio stations. If you ever want to customize your driver systems, you'll go to Vehicle, Driver Assistance, and you can play around and make some changes there. So again, full 12.3-inch display, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it's just a fairly easy to navigate menu. It operates a lot like a smartphone would in the sense that you got pull-down menus, the icons are quite large, and it looks good. For your gauge cluster, it is not a 12.3-inch display, even though it really does look like it. You got a digital speedometer, digital tachometer, but the very center screen, this little one here, is what you can actually play around with and change. You'll do so by pressing this button here. You can see things like the current range on the vehicle. As you can see, it's not charged, as well as your lane safety, your all-wheel drive torque distribution, and then right back to our trip. So very easy to navigate these menus. Not much changes between the two trims in that sense. Again, overall layout, fairly dark interior, but it is very comfortable. You got your two middle seats there, so your captain's chairs. I'll take a quicker look at those in a second, or a more in-depth look. Then your cabin lights are regular bulbs, they're not LEDs. Your mirror, however, is a HomeLink mirror and it is auto dimming. So there you can see we have our HomeLink integrated buttons. Just below, we have our air vents, our hazards, and then this flippable climate control and menu display or infotainment display. It is 2-zone climate control. Now we do have ventilation in the back. It's just mounted behind the center console. There are no vents in the third row, but you do have heat ducts. So second and third row heat ducts with second row ventilation. Got a 12 volt along the back. USB-Cs are built into the seat. And the seats themselves also have a leather pocket and a mesh pocket. There's also small pockets built into the seats themselves. And you have the armrests that can retract back or come down. Both captain's chairs will also have the ability to recline, so if you want to get a little more comfortable, you certainly can. And then to get into the third row, this will be the same on the SX. You have these shoulder mounted buttons that allow the seat to fold forward and slide on its rail, giving you a passageway into the third row. We won't go in depth on the third row just because we've done that plenty of times here on this channel, so please, please, please check out those videos if you'd like to see. But we've got cup holders, USB-Cs, and the same things repeated on the other side. Alrighty. I think that's it for what we'll show in the EX model. We'll show the SX, and things are going to get very, very different very quickly. So let me give the camera over to Adam. And so far, what are we thinking? $10,000 price difference. Are you liking the EX? Are you thinking where could it be improved? Because I'm about to show you. Leave your comments now if you're watching this in the future or in real time, because things are about to get crazy. So we know on the exterior we have a full 360-degree camera. We've got enhanced safety functions. We've got a slightly different exterior design approach. But on the inside, we've got a mega different design approach. So on the SX model, you get the choice between either this light gray, which is white in my opinion, or blue interior color. There's no black option, there's no brown, there's no taupe, there's only those two. The leather is also going to be an actual leather, so not synthetic. As you can see, we also have a quilted design in the seats. The driver's seat now has more control options. So we've got a knee extender. This is great if you're a taller driver because it'll extend this cushion outwards to give you a little bit more extension. And then we have 4-way lumbar support. Other than that though, the backrest and the height is the same. The seat will also be a memory seat, and instead of just being heated, they're now heated and cooled for driver and passenger. They're also heated and cooled for the seats in the back. Pretty nice. Actually, they might just be heated. Yeah, they're just heated. Sorry, you guys, I lied. All right, now right over here, those are our memory seat controls. The material is very similar in this section here, but everything gets different here. We got a ton of soft touch material, nice quilting, and as you can see, it looks a little bit dirty. I don't know if I would ever get light gray interior, but this is a real world video situation. Just warning you guys. We've got express windows for all windows of the car, and then a button for our power folding mirrors right over here. Your sound system is a Bose premium sound system, so highs and lows, it must be Bose. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Steering wheel is the same, it's heated, it's leather wrapped, very comfortable, and same controls. So the left-hand side will be your media. You got your volume access, your voice commands, and the right-hand side will allow you to quickly turn on things like your smart cruise control or your highway drive assist, as well as your steering assistance. The screens get different, so let me quickly show you guys that. The main screen will be the same, 12.3 inches, except we now have built-in navigation. Your wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is still wireless. This screen over here, though, your gauge cluster is now fully digitized. So you can see a little bit of a difference there. You still have, ooh, hello music. Let's turn that off. As you can see, we still have a digital speedometer, and then we typically have a digital tach too. It's just warning me that the car is going to be turned off eventually. There we go. You can see our speedometer and our tach. PHEVs also have this power band, so as you're actively driving, it'll show you if you're drawing a lot more power here, and that means a lot more engine use, versus if you're coasting or braking, you'll see it more in the charge band. Thanks, Adam. The very center, you can also customize, so right now it's showing what the vehicle is currently doing. It's sitting at an idle, and it's only drawing power from the battery, but I can see my navigation route, or just play around with what my preferred settings are. For our mirror, this is where we have our typical ECM, so electronic dimming, HomeLink mirror, that also converts to a camera. Adam, do you want to stand behind the car? There you go. So it's a full digital rearview mirror, super freaky, and just between you and me, I've actually driven some cars with it. It's really funny being at a red light. You can see the person behind you pick their nose. You can see if they're in a heated argument as well. Anyway, back to the rest on this car. On the overhead, you can see we have LED lighting, and the headliner itself is actually a suede material instead of the typical fabric, so just a little bit more premium up there. Your sunroof is a huge difference, so we get a panoramic sunroof. The glass itself extends to about here, and you can also have it tilted upwards if that's your preference. Your passenger seat will also be powered, so it's not powered on the EX, and I realized I forgot to show you guys. I'll show you that in a second, but it is powered on the SX model. I'll give you guys a quick tour of that before we take a look at the second row. Adam's just following me. All right, so for your passenger seat, you can see the same quilted material. Your adjustments, so both height, backrest, and two-way lumbar support. Your door sills are also Sorento Sorento plated, there we go. And then a lot of that light gray interior. Didn't realize, or realized I didn't show you guys, but our center console is pretty much the same layout between the two, so that is what our gear shift looks like. We get Sorento there. Drive mode select, you'll get Eco, Sport, and Smart, as well as Snow, Mud, and Sand for the terrain mode. There'll be an EV, HEV button here that'll cycle the car between electric mode, hybrid mode, or automatic mode. And then a heated steering wheel, your electronic parking brake, and a park view camera for your 360 cam. Here's a quick look at the 360 camera, so you get the top-down view on the right, as well as a front or rear view based off what you did last with the car on the left-hand side. Last thing I did was move it forwards, so that is our front view. As you can see, all of those things are really there. All right, let's quickly take a look at the second row. I might actually hop in this time. As far as dimensions go, it's going to be just about the same between the EX and the SX. Technically, you lose a little bit of headroom whenever you get the sunroof, but it's very, very, very marginal. If you'd like to move the seat back on both models, you'll have a bar by your feet that allows you to move it on its rail. You got your backrest adjustment or your recline. And then we got our, whoa! I didn't lock it into place, there we go. And then we got our armrest, which you guys might not be able to see because I'm in the way. All right, backs of the seats, exactly the same as the EX, just different material, mesh pocket, leather pocket, and USBs built into the back of the seat. You get the same air vents, except now we also get a household outlet, not just the 12 volt. So if you want to charge a laptop or any sort of other device, you have a 3-prong outlet in here. All right, these seats are going to be heated. So both of the main seats in the back, I'm just going to move over. So 2 different levels of heat, and the button is just located right on the door, right next to the window control. You'll also have integrated sunshades, so I'll have Adam retract those out. They just clip into place and they're built into the car, so you don't have to buy any aftermarket accessory. Now, I think we covered quite a bit, but I want to see what you guys say. So we're going to take a little break, see what you're saying so far, see what questions you have, and then we'll do a quick summary at the end with some of the other changes. If there's anything you'd like me to show again, also let me know now, because we're still on now. All right, let me hop out. We'll flip the camera at him and see what you guys have to say. Also, I guess I have a question for you guys. If there is a function in more modern vehicles that's an absolute non-negotiable for you, you need it in your car, you've had it once, and now you can't go without it. For me, I mean, it's kind of hypocritical because I don't have it in any of my cars, but I absolutely love proximity entry. It's something that's so small, and not a lot of people think about it when they're listing their absolute must-haves. Most people are like, oh, I need leather and I need a sunroof. A lot of people don't list proximity entry. It's so nice to have. Once you have it, you don't want to get rid of it. Okay. Let's see what you guys have to say now, though. When will the 2026 Sportage PHEV be available in Canada? That is a fantastic question. At this point, we've not received any of the PHEVs yet. We have gotten a ton of hybrids. I want to say hopefully in the next few months, but I do not have a set date yet. Okay. Hey, King Bob said, Ryan, sorry to bother you, but I can't find it. Does the Kona SEL all-wheel drive come with remote starter? Thanks. Oh, I wish I had the answer for this. Unfortunately, the SEL is typically an American or US trim level, so we don't get it here in Canada. So I can't say for sure whether it does have it or not. But a quick way to tell is on your key fob. Here's a Kia one. The Hyundai one's, of course, going to look a bit different, but they have the same icons. If it looks like this and you see an icon like that, that is remote start. So the way to initiate remote start on Kia and Hyundai cars is you got to lock the car first and then very quickly press and hold this button. You'll see this little icon flash red or green, doesn't matter, and that will tell you if it went through or not. If you're close enough to your vehicle, you'll also probably hear the engine turn over, or you'll see the lights flash. That's just the car giving you feedback saying, I started. Ruthless Biscuit, thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you guys are incredible. Oh, I thought I saw the door open. Did you see that? No? Okay. I'm just going to quickly scan through the comments to see if anyone asked anything about the Sorento's in particular. And then we can get to yapping. We can talk a little bit. The interior is for someone without kids. Yeah. So the gray interior, I was about to say white interior, is stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous. But if you have pets or kids, it's fine. Just if you're okay with your car looking dirty, it's fine. Or if you love cleaning your car, it's fine. But it's not going to be as forgiving as a black interior or a dark interior. With that being said, there is the option for the blue, and the blue is a lot more gentle. It's also not blue like blue in your face. It's very much a more muted color, so it's not too crazy. Adam's sister actually has a Sorento with the blue interior, and it's muted, right?
It's like grayish.
It's not like your shirt. Yeah, it's not blue. No. I'd somehow love to get Gabby to do a comparison to trims that have the Harman Kardon sound system versus not. So I would love to do a sound comparison video, but anytime, maybe it's just our filming equipment, it's so hard to actually pick up what audio truly sounds like on YouTube. It's tough. It's very tough. Do you think an all-wheel drive and turbocharged Kia K5 will ever come out? So I don't want to say never. I'll never say never, but I think it's highly unlikely. When the K5 first came out, we also had the Stinger, so it wasn't discontinued yet. And the whole reason why they didn't make the K5 all-wheel drive is they said, oh, it takes sales away from the Stinger. But now the Stinger's gone, so there's no real reason to not give us, the all-wheel drive K5. But with that being said, in Canada, we don't get the K5 at all. So I know we're not getting it, but maybe you guys will. TRD Rev4 said probably not the K5. You can get that on the EV6 GT. So yeah, the EV6 GT does make a lot of sense, especially price point wise. It's going to be a bit higher, but if you want something with raw performance and better efficiency, It doesn't get better than the EV6 GT. I know we're not really comparing apples to apples there, but that is our all-wheel drive performance vehicle. Slightly off topic, but have you seen the new CCNC equipped EVs will show the estimated range to be higher than the maximum range? I haven't seen that, no. I do know that there is the minimum, the maximum, and then the current predicted range, but typically the current predicted is not higher than the max, you know what I mean? But I have not seen that. King Bob said, Gabby, our car is dying and we have to buy a new one. That's the one that we want. Well, I think the Kona is a fantastic vehicle. I wish I could give you the exact 100% answer whether it did have remote start or not. But unfortunately, if you get the chance to look at the key, look for that icon. If it has it, then it's got remote start built in. If not, remote start is something that you can put on aftermarket. I don't know what pricing is like where you're based, but here at our dealership, it's typically about $750 to install an aftermarket remote starter, and that is one that's Kia approved, so you don't have to worry about any warranty issues or anything like that. Supposedly the EV6s are one of the slowest selling cars in the US market. How is it doing in Ontario? So it's actually doing quite well. I think we only have a few EV6s left on our lot, but we've done very well for EV6s. Same thing with EV9s. The Niro is a little bit of a harder vehicle right now. I think it's very much because the Niro's price point is very close to the EV6's price point, so a lot of people would rather just get the EV6. And for some reason, I'm starting to see more EV9s than EV6s in my neck of the woods. Yeah, a lot of people loving the EV9. Also, when you think about it, there's not a lot of three-row all-electric SUVs out there. Not a lot of them that are under $100,000. So there's only really the Palisade and our car, the EV9 right now. All right, you guys. I think that's probably about it. Yeah, okay, I think that's about it for now. I see a lot of comments, but not that many about the Sorento. Now, if anything comes to mind, if you're watching this in the future, please let me know in the comments because I do check them every single day. In the meantime, I hope to see you guys on our next live video, which will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The lights turned off, that means it's time to take care and brush your hair. Bye-bye.